Welcome to the Hoffman School of Piano Craft and Wizardry. Today you will be learning Hedwig's Theme, a rather famous tune from a movie about a young wizard you might have heard of before, Harry Potter. I would teach you myself, but there is some trouble in the Forbidden Forest, so I leave you in the very capable hands of our new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and piano instructor, Professor Hoffman.
Thank you, Headmaster.
And now, I must be off. Farewell for now.
Well, let's go ahead and get class started. Just grab hold of this port key with me and we'll transport to the piano to start learning Hedwig's Theme. Go ahead, just reach out and touch it, but be ready for a wild sensation. Phew, if that's your first time traveling by port key, you may feel a little dizzy or nauseated, but don't worry, the feeling will pass quickly. So let's start off by looking at the keys you need to use in your right hand for Hedwig's Theme. Here we have an E, F sharp, G, A, and B, and that's where you'll place your 5 fingers of the right hand at the beginning of the piece. And sometimes instead of an F sharp, you'll actually need an F natural, like here on line 2. That little symbol is a natural sign, which means play the regular white key instead of the sharp. So go ahead and place your right hand over those 5 notes to be ready. And then you'll notice the first note of the piece is actually played by the left hand, which you can tell because it's down here in the bass clef. It says finger 4 is playing this B, a step below middle C. So you'll notice that your hands have to kind of share this E, or your thumbs will both be around there. So just share nicely, and your left hand thumb actually doesn't even need to help. It can kind of just rest off the keys like this. So go ahead and find this position, and then let's try and play the first 5 notes like this. The left hand starts on B, then E, G, F sharp, E, and a little faster like this. Now you try. Now, once again. Now you try. Let's focus on the rhythm of the right hand for a second. Throughout Hedwig's Theme, you'll see this rhythm of a dotted quarter note, then an 8th note, followed by another quarter note. And that sounds like this. Ba, 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 ba. I added that half note at the end. Ba, 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 ba. Let's do this like 5 times in a row together, because that rhythm is so important in this song to give it the feel. Bum, ba, ba, bum. Can you play that with me? You skip up from E to G and then just step down in that rhythm. Ba, 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 bum. Together with me, go. Bum, ba, ba, bum. Try it again, go. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Again. Bum, ba, bum. One more time. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Good. Now, if you need extra practice with that, just press pause and keep trying it on your own. Otherwise, let's go on and add 3 more notes. After you have bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, then you'll notice you have this skip up of a 5th, which takes us up to B, and then we step down to A, skip down to F sharp. And you notice the A is 3 beats, so hold 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So together with the B before it, we have B, A, 2, 3, F sharp, 2, 3. Will you try those 3 notes on your own? Go. Good. Now remember, to play Hedwig's Theme correctly, it's not just about playing the right notes. You want to play the correct rhythm. So as you're holding those longer notes, make sure you count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or the song won't sound correct. Now, here's the whole first line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, will you press pause and work on that first line on your own? Try it several times. Make sure you're playing with the correct rhythms, and then press play to go on. Okay, let's try line 2 now. here on line 2, you'll notice we start off with this pattern again that we've seen before. Bum, ba, bum. So will you play that with me? Go. Bum, ba, bum. And that's E, G, F sharp. Now here we have a D sharp. And in order to play the D sharp, we're going to use our left hand finger 2. That's what that LH2 means. And D is here. D sharp would be right here. So our LH2 is going to come up to help on that note, which holds for 2 beats. And then the right hand, you'll notice it's an F sharp. So the right hand finger 2 has to move to F natural. Did I say natural? It's not F sharp, it's F natural this time. So left hand plays D sharp, then right hand plays F natural, then left hand plays B. So let's practice those 3 notes. With me, left hand play F sharp with D sharp with finger 2. Right hand plays F natural with finger 2, then left hand plays B. And the rhythm is this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You hold that note for 3 tied to 2 more beats, which means you basically add it together, 5 beats. Okay, let's try that together. Get your left hand finger 2 ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Good, now let's back up and put that together with the first measure of line 2. Good. Now press pause, and I'd like you to work on that section on your own. Once you feel confident with it, press play to go on. Good. Okay, next up is just like the beginning again. We have this B in the left hand, then bum, ba, bum, bum. And now here's where it changes. Now you'll see we have a B, but the change is that it's marked with a finger 3. And that's because we're going to need to shift up on the piano. So you have to move to finger 3, or you can kind of stretch up like this. Finger 3 is playing B, and now your right hand is going to be in this kind of G major pentascale. And we play D, then D flat, then C. Those 3 notes right there are what are called moving by half step. A half step on the piano is when you're playing every single note, white or black, one at a time, going in a certain direction. Okay, that's called moving by half steps. Why don't you just try that on your piano? Just experiment with moving by half steps. It's kind of a cool sound. So right here, these 3 notes are moving down by half step. And you're going to play it with fingers 5, 4, 3. And John Williams does that a lot in Hedwig's theme. It gives it a really cool, kind of magical, mystical sound when he does those half steps. Okay? So, backing up to the start of this phrase, we have bum, 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 bum. Now finger 3 moves up to B, then D, D flat, C, moving down by half steps. Okay? Let's start right here on the B with finger 3. Try this with me. Play B, then skip up to D, then step down by a half step, step down by another half step. Okay, now all together we have 3 moves up. Now I'd like to stop there. There's more to that phrase, but I'd like you to stop, press pause, and just work on those few notes until you feel confident with that, then press play to go on. Okay, so you just played D, D flat, C. Now your left hand's going to be a helper again. It has been hanging out down here, but we needed to come up and play this 1 G sharp with finger 2, okay? So after you play that D, D flat, C, move your left hand up to play that G sharp, and then the right hand's going to kind of shift its finger 4 down to C for these next 3 notes. C, B, A sharp, and you'll notice those are 3 half steps again, but we're using our ta, ti, ta rhythm. Bum, bum, bum. Then the left hand's got to move down to this A sharp, and then we finish it out with a G, E. Okay, that's a little crazy. This is probably the hardest part of the piece. So let's break it down one more time. After we play D, D flat, C. Left hand comes up to play G sharp, and then finger 4 moves to C, C, B, A sharp. Those are all half steps. Move down to low A sharp, and then G, E. Now, let's practice this starting with the last two notes. And we're going to actually work backwards. Can you just use your finger 1, which is your thumb of right hand, to play the last two notes? Finger 1 of the right hand for G, finger 1 of the left hand for E. Try that with me. That's the ending. So we've got that down, right? Good work. Now let's back up one more note. Now the left hand's got to play this low A sharp, bum, for 2 beats, and then we come up to finish it. Try that with me. 2 beats on A sharp with finger 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And once again, here's a note with 5 beats. Try it one more time, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Good. Okay, now let's back up 3 more notes. Now we're going to add these half steps that move down, starting with finger 4 of the right hand on C. We move down by half steps, like this, and then left hand plays low A sharp, and then we add those 2 notes at the end. Okay, try that with me, starting with finger 4 on C, go. Bum, 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 and then low A sharp, then G, E. Good, we've almost got it now. All we have to do is add one more note before this left hand on G sharp, finger 2, and then we jump up here to those half steps, low A sharp, G, E. Good. Now, because this is the hardest part of the whole piece, I'd like you to press pause and review that several times until you can confidently play it like this. That may take you 5, 10, 15, however many times it takes to get confident, work on that on your own, then press play to go on. If you like, that is an okay place to stop. There is more to Hedwig's theme, but if you feel like you've learned enough for it today, feel free to stop there. If you'd like to learn the rest of Hedwig's theme, feel free to continue. Okay, the good news is that the rest of the piece actually uses a lot of the same patterns we've learned so far. This next section starts off with a G and then skips up to B. Then you notice it just kind of goes back and forth between B, G, for 2 measures. Okay, let's try that together, starting on this first G on the previous line. Go. G, B, G, and then here it skips up to C, B, A sharp. Do you recognize those half steps? This time the rhythm's a little different, but it's those same 3 half steps that we played a second ago. So we have C, B, A sharp. So on your own, I'd like you to practice this section. Listen to me play it once. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And let's stop right there. Okay? Press pause and practice that phrase on your own, then press play to go on. Okay, for this next section, the left hand has to come up to play this F sharp with finger 2, and then the right hand is going to do this rhythm we've had before, but this time we're on a G. So we have G, B, A sharp. So watch that once. The left hand plays F sharp. Now your turn. Good. One more time. Your turn. Good. After you play that, the left hand goes down to A sharp for 2 beats, then steps up to B, which is a half step above. 1, 2, 3, and then we jump up to B in the right hand. A sharp, B, B. Will you try that? Go. My turn again. A sharp, B, B. Your turn. Good. Now putting that all together, starting with this F sharp. Move down for the left hand. Now you try. Good. Now, the next phrase starts off the same as 2 phrases ago. We have another bum, bum, G, B, G, and then here it's like our phrase from line 3. D, D flat, C, G sharp, bum, bum, bum. Exact same notes we saw on line 3, right? So this is good. We can capitalize on that hard work we did before. Okay, so let's hear this whole section, these last 3 lines of the piece. I'll play it once, and then you can press pause to work on it on your own. Three, 1, 2. 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's the whole piece. Okay, press pause and work on that section on your own, and then press play, and I'll show you how you can put this together with a backing track to make it sound really cool. Now, once you feel like you have the notes mastered, here are a few pro tips. First of all, what I like to do, because the original Hedwig's theme isn't played this low, it's kind of played on this cool celeste sound, which is actually a pretty high instrument. So Hedwig's theme, I think, will sound better if you transpose it up an octave. Basically, take every note you were playing down here and just move it up 1 position or octave higher on your piano, like this. Also, earlier, I was playing it kind of slow, which is a good way to learn a piece. But as you get better, you'll want to pick it up to the final performance speed of about this. And remember, the dynamics are marked piano. This song is meant to be played delicately, to give it kind of a mysterious sound. It shouldn't be played heavily, okay? Remember, it's supposed to sound like Hedwig, this owl floating on a breeze, not stomping his Hagrid feet. You know, this is supposed to sound delicate and light. Now, the final step of mastering this piece would be to play it with our backing track, which you can access from our website. And I'll play it for you now. What you'll hear are 4 little pizzicato string plucks. And that is your signal to start after the 4th pluck. I'll demonstrate it for you once and show you how you can play along with this backing track. Congratulations on learning Hedwig's theme today. I'm certain you'll score very well on your Piano Owl exam later this year. Well, I'm off to go supervise Quidditch practice. So happy practicing and see you next time. I hear we have a new music theory teacher this year. Yeah, isn't his name Drape or something? No, Snape. Quiet, here he comes. There will be no foolish finger flailing or silly songs in this class. As such, I don't expect many of you to appreciate the subtle science and exact art that is music theory. I better write this down. Where's my pencil? However, for those select few who possess the predisposition, I can teach you to transpose any piece to any key with your eyes closed.
Eyes closed.
I can teach you Schenkerian analysis and how to harmonize your way to fame and music glory.
Music glory.
Then again, maybe some of you have come to Hoffman's School of Pianocraft and Wizardry in possession of talent so formidable that you feel confident enough to not pay attention. Psst. Mr. Scuba, our new snorkeling celebrity. Tell me, what would be the secondary dominant of the submediant in the key of B minor?
Oh, I know.
You don't know? Well, let's try again. What is the value, Mr. Scuba, of a dotted 16th note in 6/8 meter?
Please, call on me. Please.
I don't know, sir. Pity. Clearly, snorkeling isn't everything, is it, Mr. Scuba?
In closing, I'd like to say just a few words. Fermata, metronome, pianissimo. Scuba. Why so sad?
Well, you see, Headmaster, Snape...
Professor Snape?
Right. Professor Snape just told me that snorkeling isn't everything. What am I going to live for now?
May I suggest something?
Sure. What?
Live for friendship and for love.
Friendship and love?
In my experience, two of the most powerful forces in the world. Even more powerful, I might say, than music and magic. And one more powerful force I should mention to cheer the soul. A delicious treat. How about a Bertie Bott's every flavor bean?
Oh, sure. Thanks. Pink. That looks pretty safe. Earthworm!